I have to laugh. Your favorite Muslim man is back. So my buddy slash cameraman, Ian, has convinced me to do another video. Now, I might not share this video until after I put the first video out because we had some technical difficulties with the camera. So I am not doing it live. So we're doing it this way. But hopefully I didn't mess up too much, which I tried not to, being that I do live streaming. So welcome back. Assalamu alaikum. Rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Kaifa hal. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to those watching my videos. Thank you to all those who've been liking my videos, sharing my content. And I wholeheartedly appreciate you all. Okay? Before I dive in, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I remember sometime, this was already about 2 months ago, before, like I mentioned in my previous video that I talked about what is happiness, I talked about how I had planned to go into the mountains and have like this nice background view and do these videos on relationships. So how I got this idea, I was watching the Iman channel. It's a Muslim channel on YouTube. It's Iman, I-M-A-N channel. And mostly Muslims are watching it. And so I remember these ladies, they would they come on there. I think one of the lady named, shout out to her, I listened to hers, Naoma B. Roberts, I believe is her name. Jazakallah Khair to the sister for her messages and wisdom that she shares to the world. So may Allah grant her and bless her ease, and grant her ease and bless her. So as I'm watching this channel, I noticed that these ladies would have discussions, and one of the ladies, they haven't filmed in probably like over a month. So I was like, where it at? But one of the sisters was talking about, she wanted to talk more about 50-50 relationships. And I was like, wow, this would be a great topic to give you all some of my experiences of dating, even though I know most of us Muslims are not supposed to be dating. You're supposed to get your parents and so forth and your family, your brothers and your aunts and your uncles, whoever I would say, I don't know about the aunts, but so forth, your relatives, to try to find you a mate. But these times are different, to where we have a lot of Muslim men and women working together and going to school, and things are a little different compared to what our ancestors or so forth had to do as far as dating. And now with the internet, it tends to make it even more difficult to try to keep things a little bit traditional. So I want to talk about the video of 50-50 relationships, and I want to say this one's for you, Cookie. And the funny thing was, I remember this happened to me like about a month. Was it about a month ago? Let me see. This happened about a month ago or so, or 2 months ago, whatever it is. So I was talking to these 3 young ladies at the counter one day, and we were talking about dating and taking a woman out on a date and whatnot. So I noticed that one of the young ladies, she had asked me, why do you want to date a younger woman versus an older woman? And I told her, I said, you older women seem to want more, and it seemed like sometimes you could be ungrateful or unappreciative of what a man is trying to do for you, right? Because nowadays most women, they want to travel, and that's a big expense. They want the man to pay just for everything. So me listening to these Muslim women on this Muslim channel, Iman channel, talk about this. I think it's EMAN channel on YouTube, not I am like Iman. I think it's EMAN channel. So back to this conversation. So the young lady, which was an older woman, like probably in her 50s or something, she asked me, she was like, why are you when she was a young woman? So I said, okay. And I noticed there was another two other women beside her, and they looked different in age. So I was like, okay, well, how old are you? So this, and I'll give you the, I can even do the ethnic groups. So of course, there's a black woman. So the black woman, she was like in her 50s or whatever. Then there was a Chinese woman that she probably was in her early 40s or something. And then there's a Hispanic girl, and she was like 23, 24. I laughed because I like what I did. I just thought it as it popped up. Because I was like, okay, looking at the women age, I can see who's the younger in the group, So I was like, okay, let me give you an example so you want to see why it might be beneficial for men to like date younger women. And it's so funny. So I said, okay, now I'm gonna ask everyone a question. I said, if I was to take each of you on a date, think about what you would order off the menu. And Cookie, this is for you, because Cookie knows who I'm referring to when I say Cookie. But shout out to Cookie. Cookie's a sweet young lady. I love Cookie. So eventually, the 50-something-year-old woman, she tells me, she says, well, I think I would want to go do like a seafood. I forgot what you call them things. What do you call them things, Ian? Like a seafood. Like the little seafood things we have here, and you go to them like red crab and all kind of stuff like that. What is that thing called? When people like to go eat like a little calabash seafood broiled thing, crab boil thing, right? Seafood boil, right? So she said that. I said, well, shit, I don't know. I like that probably $70, $80. So she says, so she's doing whatever number in her head, and I'm like, okay, most of the time it's like $70, $80 or more, just for one person. So I'm like, okay, go ahead. So the Chinese woman, she said, well, like I tell my daughter, order the most expensive thing on the menu. And I said, I'll be damned. I can't believe the China woman is saying this. But shout out to my people from China, my subscribers, because I gained a lot of people from China subscribers during the last 2 weeks, or a few. Shout out to my buddy Adam out in Vancouver, real cool fella. Ni hao, at least that's how you say it, ni hao. Thank you, Sheshe, to you all. Matter of fact, the gentleman, I forgot his name, but he did my video of me. I have a short of me swimming. He's from China. I forgot his name. And the young lady, I just like I said with this Chinese lady, she confused. She was like, well, I tell my daughter to order the most expensive thing off the menu when a man is taking her out. I was like, I'll be damned. I thought. So I was like, okay. So I asked the young girl, and it was funny. I said, so if me and you going out on the first date, Hispanic girl, she said, and she was like 23, 24. So I said, if we went on a first date, what would you order off the menu? She says, well, I would do fish of the day. I say, I'll be damned. I said, that's something like $6.99. So this is why I say men need to date, not date young women in the sense that you dating a woman that's under 21, But I know that in some cultures, in some countries, they may practice these because that's their culture. But for me, just like I always say, you have to be 20 something to do something, right? Especially with me. So I'm not saying, date young women. I'm just saying, hey, even when a man is deciding to date a younger woman, you also have to think about, if you're really interested in wanting to be with this woman, you need to think that, okay, well, maybe I don't think you should do anything over 20 years, a 20-year gap. And just like I said in my previous video a while back, that like one guy told me is half your age plus 7, but I thought that was funny to where the 50-something-year-old black woman, she says she wants seafood broil or whatever, and I'm like, damn, that's $70 for one person. And then the Chinese woman, she said, ordered the most expensive thing off the menu, and she's like in her 40s. She's like, order the most expensive thing off the menu, and the young girl, she want damn fish of the day. I was like, wow. I said, see, this is why. Men have to be. Men try to calculate and seeing how much we have to invest with the women to say we're going to go out on dates and stuff like that, because we have to work. Money don't grow on trees. Well, people say money don't grow on trees, but some people would beg to differ because some people do drugs. So I mean, but I shouldn't mention that, but that's the truth, and it's a shame that stuff like that goes on to damage other people's lives using that stuff. But may God Allah make it easy for those that are having a hard time with that. But yeah, back to that story. So what I noticed, how did we get here? And this is give you some reasons. Women today are looking for suckers, looking for guys to buy materialistic things for them. In some cases, I tend to think this is only a certain group of women that may be looking for this, because I think this is just my point of view, but in my personal opinion, I think when I changed my mindset and I went to therapy and I watched the food that I eat and I tried to become the person that I wanted to become and so forth, and I wanted to attract better quality people, it has brought that into my life. So I don't really have the issue of women trying to use me and use their psychology to get money out of me. But men and women, it's like one of the question that tend to come up a lot is relationships about finances and who's going to, because it's important, who's going to manage the finances, or if we're going to share bank accounts, or who is the person that's not good with money, who can balance our account, or balance our finances. So it's important that couples talk about this, but I laugh sometimes when men these days will say they want women to be 50-50, and women, they don't want to do that. Like about a good 80 to 90% of women don't want to pay half of the bills. But I think what some people need to understand, let's take the US for example. Some women have used or financially abused men in relationships here in the US by using the family court system, receiving alimony or child support, and these laws are mostly favored towards women. And basically, taking advantage of mostly men, to where men could be paying up, to like 65% of their income towards child support or alimony. So this is why some guys tend to say they don't want to get married, or they'll do it when the system becomes fair. And you have other guys that are like, okay, well, we're not worried about it. What I've learned is just to, have a good prenup in place. And thanks for guys like the lead attorney, that's a real life attorney, teaching men to say, hey, you should get married. It has a lot of benefits. And even for us Muslim, it's recommended that we do at a young age, get married. I hope to be married one day, inshallah. And some of you see the thumbnail may say, well, you see the thumbnail that I created for my last video that I did on, I just did the video and I already fit to get the name out. Ian. It's funny, you had me do this video and I'm already forgetting the name. It's like, what is happiness? And you see my thumbnail that I made and it says 4 wives, and I'm being serious. I was like, because I realized that I'm not it's just being honest with you. I'm an honest person. I like to be honest with people. I don't think that monogamy works for me. So I just would rather choose women that, they're okay with having multiple wives or whatever, and being respectful while doing that and being able to provide. But in the U.S., of course, I'm not going to be in the U.S. That's another thing. Some people say, oh, you can't have it. Don't worry. Inshallah, I will be out of here sooner than you blink. In the U.S., men have a disadvantage when children are involved. I've seen military men suffer a lot of consequences. I've heard stories of men that go in the military and they have to basically sign off all their rights to their children to the wives, and then some of the wives are basically living for free on free housing. They get the benefits and everything, but then if a divorce comes, then it's like, okay, the woman gets the house, she gets the alimony, and now you have a lot of depressed men from that, and these men are off fighting wars or doing whatever they do, and thinking that, oh, it's this relationship, everything's going to go right and so forth, and it doesn't plan out to go that way sometimes. Let's see. I love being a provider. At the same time, I expect whoever is with me to notice the clothing I wear, to know that I like nice clothing. I may like a nice tie, a nice shoes. It's like me wearing a nice Hermes tie. Hermes, I'm looking for you to sponsor me. Wearing some nice Tom Ford shoes, and the stuff ain't cheap. The shoes alone, which it shouldn't matter, but $2,400. So I like nice things, but there's good quality. Now, who knows? Maybe one day, the women that I have, will be generous enough to buy me a new Lamborghini. Or, let's see, the Koenigsegg Gemera, or Gemera, Koenigsegg Gemera or Gemera. That's a beautiful car, Koenigsegg. I understand why men go 50-50, but there is a downside to that. That woman will most likely not listen to you. She'll say you can't tell her what to do. That includes her not going to clubs or drinking, being out late night. See, women with me, they'll get their pink slip. That is not happening. But he said, give her her walking papers. More often than not, I've helped a few women in the past to give them, 3,000 euros, 5,000 euros, $1,000 or something because they say, hey, I need help paying my rent or something. I ain't heard from them in over 6 months or a year. So it's something else. Women know subconsciously or consciously their intentions with a man. They play these psychological games. I remember years ago, this was probably like when I was in college, maybe I was like about 23 or something like that. And one of my cousins told me, he said, I give a woman two times. He said 2 dates. And after 2 dates, I decide if I want them or let them go. And I understand why now, especially when I hear some of these stories men give, or even women give me stories about like how the man showed up for the date, or him not wanting to even pay the date or go half and half, wanted her to pay her own portion of the bill. Putting in her masculine energy. I remember give you all a few of my past experiences when I was in college. I remember I was leaving college one day, and it was just me and this Filipino girl. And our cars were the only car park, and we were like, it was like maybe 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and 5 or 6 o'clock or whatever. And that day, I think the college had shut down and we were still there. I think it was like a half day or something. So we were just still there studying. And eventually the girl, we met in the parking lot. I was like, wow, that's a nice looking Filipino chick. So I went and I approached her, tried to talk to her and whatever, and got her phone number. So we went out, had a good time the first date. But I noticed on the first date, she wanted to keep drinking. She keep drinking, if I could recall. I think she had like about 5 dirty martinis, and them drinks were like $13 a piece. And she asked me if I wanted to taste it, and I took like a little sip, and I was like, yeah, it looked like dirty water to me. But that's what it is, like a dirty martini. So then I noticed when the bill came, she walked off the other way by it was a nice little rooftop. So they had a big old pool. It was a rooftop like club bar thing, and it was like a nice big pool. And when that bill came, she walked by the pool. I was like, okay. So I was like, first date. Another date, we went out late night, and it was her idea to want to go out because we were so busy with school. She wanted to go out. I was like, okay, yeah, we can go out. So we went out to like a little late night breakfast. And so we eating breakfast, which I love breakfast at night. Breakfast at night is a nice little vibe. So the young lady, I noticed that she ordered this big, huge appetizer of like tacos and all kind of stuff, and chips and whatnot, and whatever. It's like a sampler platter or whatever. I was like, damn, you gonna eat all that? And so then the next thing you know, she ordered another entree. And I'm like, damn, she'll eat this too? I was like, man, this girl can eat. So, so then next thing you know, we eating, having a good time, nice little vibe. When that bill came, she ran to the bathroom. I was like, wow. I said, I was checking to see what she was going to do. She didn't disappoint me. So I was like, okay. So I was like, all right. And after that, like, I don't know. I just, I didn't stop talking to her because of the dates or spending money. That's usually not my thing, because I'm always like a provider male, not always willing to pay for a meal and take care of women and respect them as well. So I don't have a problem with that. I just was laughing at what she did, and it was funny. And so then, she would tell me that that she had a child and whatever, and she was had something going on with her kid's father or whatever. So I just didn't want to indulge in, so I let that go. But then next thing you know, I another story, I met this young lady at the spa that I frequent. And I still go to the spa, but the young lady doesn't work there. But this was years ago. So now I'm probably like 26 years old, and I'm at this spa, and I saw this young lady. And this young lady, she reminds you of the actor Halle Berry. She looked like a young Halle Berry. If you go back to, I think it's Boomerang. You ever seen that, Ian? The boom. So the young girl. If you look at Halle Berry, the actor Halle Berry, when she played in the movie Boomerang, that's how beautiful this black woman was, right? So I was like, wow. I said, man, and she was gorgeous, aesthetically pleasing and everything. And I was like, wow, I gotta get this girl number before I leave. So I got her number, and we hung out a few times. But the thing that got me was I noticed every time that we went to dinner, she would order 2 entrees. And this is a 20-something-year-old woman. But every time we go out to dinner, she orders 2 entrees. And I'm thinking like, and sometimes when we get there, and of course I'm spinning because this chick was hot. This was a beautiful girl. So eventually I noticed sometimes when I tell her no, she was like, well, baby, I really want to get that. Can I at least do this, and then maybe later we can. And she would make it seem like we were going to, do something intimate or whatever later. But she started rubbing my arms like, baby, come on, can we just? So of course I paid for it. What do? You pay for it. So I don't think that works for me now. So if you're watching this video, my lady, just know that's not gonna work. Rubbing arms and bumping elbows, and they ain't gonna work on me. So that's one thing. So the young lady, I just thought about that, and I said, wow. Now the craziest thing was one day, and this one I was like, this is it. This was the final thing between me and her. And even if she ends up watching this video, she knows. One day we go to the supermarket. She asked me to go to the supermarket with her. So I'm thinking her and her aunt is just going to be in there for like maybe no more than 15 minutes. I was a fool that day. I spent over an hour, probably like more like an hour and a half, and they were in their grocery shopping. And I was like, you know something? I think that was one of the most disrespectful things that someone could have done, because she should have told me what they were going in the store to do and how long they were going to be, which I would have appreciated more, and still not feel so bad about it if she told me what they were going to do, So I was like, you know what, that was like one of the last straws. And then of course we went out after that, and then she had me, oh, can I order this, and can I order this? It's like, you know what? I was just like, if she don't, this is it. But that's my experience there. And remember what I say, you guys that watching this video, or women, to catch little things, or I think, just like the story I said earlier about when I talked about the 3 women going to, giving me their opinion, the black woman, the Chinese, and the Hispanic women, let me know what they're ordered off the menu for a date. It's like, you need to be a little bit more considerate when a man is taking you out, not to order so many things off the platter, off the menu. Oh, Ian, you are the man. May Jazakallah. May Allah bless you and grant you ease. So we're back, folks. We had to take a brief pause for the camera. And it's not like we have commercials or anything. But yeah, so talking about the chick at the spa that I met, like we were out doing nice things, and Man, if y'all saw this girl looked like a young Holly Berry, just like I said, like in Boomerang. So that's why she had me jumping through hoops trying to please her and do things. And I'm just like, you know what? I ain't doing that no more. Um, the crazy thing is, I think when I think about some things today where women are saying they want to be single and they're in their early 20s and then they wait till they get in their 30s or so, or close to their 30s to start like taking life a little bit more serious. It's like what I said. It's like I like this I like this movie Friday, and it's a woman. I took something from it, and I say from Chris Tucker, but I use my own words. Say, women run up and down the street all day playing. All day playing. You running up and down the street all day playing, and thinking you got all the time in the world. And it's surprising when these women get over 30, or mostly not even 30 sometime these days. It's like not until they reach their 40 sometime to where they realize that like they didn't take their 20s seriously. I understand that you want to have fun and things like that, but you have to take life seriously, especially dating. But let's get back to the 50-50 relationships. So what I notice, you want to court someone, a man that has hard-earned money, resources, and given his time, but you women, you also have to invest something too. You don't just want to show up and basically not do anything for your man. You should be able, just like I said, I don't mind paying myself. I don't mind paying for mostly everything when it comes to my woman, but I want, and it's not just me, I would say that most men could relate to say, hey, at least buy me something nice, pay attention. And we're not talking about something to where it's like, oh, I bought you some socks or I bought you some underwear and this and that. Because even for me, I'm very picky. So when it comes to mostly everything, so you just don't buy me just anything, just pay attention to what I like. And I imagine a lot of men think like this as well. And if you don't think that 50-50 is fair, or you would like a man to pay for everything, well, maybe you should start off your relationships, and if you're not being serious with a guy, pay your own way, 50-50. That would be fair. In the Muslim community, I know we're not supposed to be going out, dating and things like that, and the family's supposed to know. But things are a little different now. But what I will say is that is also the woman's right for men to pay for everything. As far as like, you can pay, paying for the food, home, water, shelter, things like that, helping with the children, to keep the woman in her feminine energy. Let's see. The only thing that I would advise to men these days is to not spend money on masculine women, because what I say in my head, he can pay for his own bills. let him, her pay for his own bills. If she wants to be masculine, because I don't even like dealing with masculine women or women that want to argue and talk over men and think that they're better than men. We don't deal with those types. And I know the women on my channel, probably the more loving, friendly, feminine women over here that crave masculine men. But that was some of the things on 50/50 that that I taught. So men, you know that it's a good thing for you to spend on your woman, but I think you have to do your due diligence when you go out and select these type of women. But I also think that if you work on yourselves and you try to become a better person spiritually, mentally, and in good health, then you attract the women that you want. And then you also have to pray for these things. Because I can remember sometime, I think like in 2019, I went through like a little heartbreak or something. This young girl, she says to me, well, she ain't young, she's older than me, but she's like, Elliot, maybe you need to pray to God and be specific about the woman that you want to attract, and you need to be those things as well. So I started doing the work, and I feel like I'm at peace in life and I'm happy. And God, Allah has truly blessed me in that area of relationships and dating. But we can dive on other topics and subjects that men, issues that men have dating today. And I am willing to help you all. But just either leave me a comment in the comment section what you would like to discuss, or you could also email me at elliottmiller@gmail.com. I will also be leaving my cameraman's information inside this video. I thank him for helping me film. This is going to be a video to where it's not as live, but we needed more camera connections in order to do it like I normally do it, but this is good. I thank you all that have been watching. I hope I left some value and a little playfulness about the 50/50 things and my experience. And just like I say, men, you need to be happy to provide and take care of women. And women, you need to be serious about the guy that you're dating if you're wanting to have healthy, functional relationships and want to get married. And you don't want to be playing around until you get into your late 30s or 40s, because next thing you know, you have a woman that's 20-something old that just wants to have the fish of the day, and she looks at least 3 times hotter than you, in good shape and everything, and you got a little bit of weight, and she's going to take your man because you're playing around. But I know that 50/50 sometimes works for some couple, and I tend to see it as people age. Like mostly I hear a lot of older people talking about this, like that have been through divorces or so, that are in like their late 40s, 50s or so or more, that say that they split the bills or manage it that way and everybody's happy. So I understand that it does work for some people, but I like the other way better, of providing everything for my women. Keeps the women more feminine to me. Even when I look at other people in their relationship, I was like, that woman might be helping and paying out with some of the bills, but that's one masculine ass woman. Excuse my French. But I thank you all. Shukran jazilan. Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Masalama.